create a wall, go to Architecture tab and select the Wall tool or use the WA shortcut. First step is to choose a wall type using the drop-down menu in the properties. Pick a generic wall type for the moment. Second step is to set base and top constraints. Select the levels to constrain your walls, then adjust the offsets. Use a negative value in the top offset so the wall is slightly below the level. Third step is to draw your wall. Use the draw commands on the upper right of the screen. The most used one is the line tool. Use it and draw a few walls. Another useful draw tool is PickLine, which is used to select any reference line in the project. Here, we use link CAD files to pick lines as references for new walls. Now that your walls are created, time to adjust them. Use the Edit Profile tool in the Contextual tab to modify the elevation profile of your wall. Adjust the purple boundary lines to a close border and click the green check to complete. Press Reset Profile to go back to normal. Top and bottom of walls can be attached to elements like roofs and floors. Select a wall, click Attach Top or Base, then click the reference roof. Use Detach to go back to the original shape. Use the Sweeps and Reveals tools to add holes and extrusions on your wall. Click on the Wall drop-down menu in the Architecture tab and select Sweep. On the Contextual tab, choose between horizontal or vertical sweep. Then, click on the wall to create the sweep. Repeat the same process to create reveals. To modify the exact profile of these elements, have a look at the Families tutorial. So far, we've created generic walls, which are made from a single material. As your model progresses, you can convert generic walls to compound walls. These walls are made from many layers of materials. To create a compound wall, you have to modify the structure of a wall type. To do that, select a wall and click on Edit Type. Then, duplicate the wall and rename it. Then click on Edit Structure button. The first step is to add as many layers of elements as you need. Second step is to adjust the thickness of all the new layers. Then, you have to pick a material for each of the new layer you've created. To do that, click on the dots in the material column and pick a material from the list. When each layer is a material, set the correct function for each of them. Finish 1 is the exterior finish, while Finish 2 is the interior one. Membrane layer has to have a thickness of 0. Your wall is now complete. Time for some advanced wall tips. Tip number 1 is to lock your wall using a dimension. Use the dimension tool from the Annotate tab or use shortcut DI. Then click on the two faces of wall and click again to complete. Adjust the value of the dimension, then click the lock button to constrain the wall. When you try to move the wall, you see that the dimension between them remain the same. Tip number 2 is to switch the interior-exterior side of the wall. To do that, select the wall and click on the two blue arrows. You can also press spacebar to accomplish the same thing. Tip number 3, adjust location line. Location line is the reference line located on your wall. It is represented by the blue dots when a wall is selected. Use the properties to change it. As you can see, flipping a wall will always be relative to that line. Tip number 4, understand what is wall wrap. This feature is used to adjust how materials will behave at end and inserts. To adjust a wrap, click on Edit Type and Edit Structure. Choose a wrap type for both inserts and ends. In this example, we changed the wrap to exterior. As you can see, the brick and other materials will turn around at both ends and inserts. To control what materials are part of the wrap, go back to Edit Structure. Change elements position using down or up and place them in the core boundaries. As you can see, the only material that wrap is now the brick. Tip number 5, adjust wall joints. Walls in Revit automatically creates a clean joint, removing thick boundary lines between them. Sometimes you don't want the walls to join. Right-click on the blue dot at the end of a wall and select Disallow Join. Then adjust the wall limit by dragging the blue dot. To allow the join back again, click on the blue icon at the wall end. Use the Wall Join tool to specify how specific joints will behave. Click on a wall intersection, then choose between butt, mirror, and square off. Use the previous or next buttons to see different joint options.